Hi you guys, so today I'm just filming a little get ready with me. My week is crazy busy. My kids only have 2 weeks of school left, so right now my schedule is very tight. I had family visiting last week and that was fantastic, but now I definitely have a lot of work to get caught up on. So I've been trying a few new products, playing with a few new things, and I'm just going to get started basically. I already have my eyebrows done. As always, I used my Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Taupe and the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel because both of those are like holy grail products to me. I think they're amazing. And of course, I have a dampened beauty blender. And today I'm actually going to be starting with my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It is going to be very warm today and I need my makeup to last a long time because my kids have performances 2 days in a row at their school and it's in the evening, typically like fairly, not like super late, but it doesn't start until 7, which I understand obviously for people who work. But it's kind of late for us just because we tend to get up so early. So I need to have my makeup stay put all day. It's 11:20 right now. So I need this to really hang in there for a while. Because I really need my makeup to stay in place, I'm using my new favorite foundation. I was planning on filming a review and a first impressions on this, but we're just going to kind of consider this like my review for this just because I haven't had time for reviews lately. Just because I decided to use it to test it out one day, which of course kind of kills the whole first impressions thing. And I really just fell in love with it. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. This is incredible. I have it in the shade 112 Natural Ivory. And of course I bronze my skin up a bit because I'm still pretty pale for summer. I haven't started self-tanning this year yet. But this foundation is amazing. First of all, glass bottle, love it, love the packaging. You will go to turn this and it will turn, which kind of throws you off at first, but it's not a screw off package. It's a pump top, which I love. So I usually just use one pump of this because it is super concentrated. Like this works beautifully for me. And I will just like dot this everywhere. And typically one pump gives me even more than like full coverage for me. So I'm just going to blend this in with my beauty blender. All right, now obviously this isn't covering up some of the open acne I have right now, just because my face has decided to lose its mind on me lately. So I am grabbing my Tarte Shape Tape. I'm popping a little bit there and there. Just a tiny bit around my nose and under my eyes. The Tarte Shape Tape I'm using right now is getting way too light for me really fast. This is in Fair Neutral. Light, the shade light works much better for me. But I picked up the Fair Neutral in winter thinking, okay, I'm going to need something lighter, and it was still way too light, so I will use this up just because I can blend it in enough that it works for me, and then go back to using light. Because this can make me look a tiny bit ghosty under the eyes if I go way full coverage with it. I also pop a little bit on my lids. I haven't been using eye primer lately just because I find a tiny bit of concealer on my lids and then either face powder on top or a skin tone eyeshadow on top works pretty much just as well. At least for day to day. If I'm doing something, if I'm going out for a big event or something like that, then I will definitely use an eye primer, but day to day, my eye makeup stays in place perfectly fine usually. Please forgive me if my voice sounds a bit crazy. I am still getting over a lovely spring cold that I got at the end of last week. I was pretty much down like all weekend. Like I still did stuff, but I didn't feel very good at all. And like I'm still having trouble like regulating my body temperature and just not feeling great overall. I don't have a ton of energy, but I'm trying. I'm trying to at least pretend that I have energy right now. So now I'm going in with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed Powder. I got this in a Sephora Play box. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this. It's translucent, but it's a very, very lightly tinted, like to a banana powdery shade. I love this for under my eyes. I like setting right in here with it because it really does kind of help blend out your pores, which I love. And I find that it's not super cakey. It can get a little bit crepey if your skin's a bit dry, but I find that on me balances out after about an hour of wearing it. My natural oils come through and everything balances out really well. So I'm just saying the concealer with this, as well as going in any areas that typically get oily. This foundation is actually really, really good for sticking on your skin when it's oily, so you don't have to over powder a ton. But I have noticed that with the heat, my oil has been getting worse again, thank you. So I am actually going to be topping everything when I'm done with the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. I got a sample of this a long, long time ago and I didn't love it, but I was trying it during a weird time of the year when I was trying a bunch of different foundations, and I think it was the foundation I was using and not the setting spray. So I want to try the setting spray again with foundations that I know work really, really well. All right, now that my face is where I want it, I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Ticket to Brazil. I love this bronzer. I think it's gorgeous. It is sparkly, so if you're just using it as a straight contour, doesn't look the best, but it's great for early summer. I've got a giant fluffy brush and I just kind of wing it. I do put it where I contour normally, along my forehead. I'm also adding just a bit of bronzer on my nose because I find that it looks more realistic that way and makes me look just a bit healthier, because we all know I always look pale and half sick even when I'm not, which is fantastic. I almost forgot blush. Today I'm using the Tarte blush in Fearless. I love this blush. It's really, really pretty. It's one of those like universally type pinks. So I'm just throwing that on and blending that into the bronzer a little bit. I've been going heavier on my blush again lately and I love it. I think it's really, really pretty. I tend to go overly light on my actual face makeup, I've noticed. And then I will overdo my eyes and lips and it can be just a wee bit aging sometimes, which I don't love. So I'm kind of working on playing up and perfecting my skin a bit more. And I've been keeping my eyes actually a little bit more neutral. So yeah, I'm going through another makeup phase. So I'm going to go in with my Smashbox Spotlight palette in Pearl, which is my favorite highlighting palette. I'm just taking the lightest, softest shade, both my cheekbones, nose always, Cupid's bow, and I like popping a little bit right above my eyebrows. Of course, you don't have to highlight your nose. You don't have to do what I'm doing. That's all up to you. I'm also taking the middle shade just to add a bit more sparkle just on tip top of my cheekbones. So I have no idea what I'm doing with my eyes today. We're just kind of winging it. So I am going in with my Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, which I love because it is beautiful and I don't get to play with it nearly enough. And I'm going in with the Sigma E40 Taper Blending Brush. This is the only Sigma brush I have, but I'm in love with it. I want to get more so badly. So I'm going into the shade Chaser, which is just a nice neutral, and just going in to make sure that any discoloration, lines, anything, not lines, but veins, you know what I mean, veins. I can talk, I promise. And then I'm going to take the shade Sauced, which is just that nice soft, like orange tinted shade. Like everything in here is orange tinted, but still. So the other thing that's going on right now is I am slightly looking at revamping my diet because I have not been eating properly at all lately. Like we're not, yesterday, like I had a gigantic plate of enchiladas at her favorite Mexican place, and then I had a frappuccino the size of my head, and yeah, that's just not good for me. And also it's starting to not look real cute, so I am working on eating a bit more healthier. And it's honestly just been about the past 2 weeks where my diet slipped again, and that tends to happen when things change in my life, when we have visitors, or if we go out of town, or things like that, and that's totally normal. I just want to get back to a healthier place. Next, I think I'm going to go in with just a flat shader brush, and I'm going to take He Devil and just pop that all over my lid, I think, maybe. Do I want that all over my lid? Yeah, we're going to do He Devil all over my lid, I think. You know what though, I'm going to leave a little bit of space in the middle for a halo. This is kind of like a cheater halo eye. It's kind of like how to do a halo eye when you really don't feel like doing a full-on cut crease style halo with like lots and lots of concealer and blending and patience and other things I just don't happen to have at the moment. Oh, the other thing that happened recently, as you guys know, I've been talking about getting a new phone because my iPhone 6 was just dying on me, like the battery was dying. It wasn't able to keep up with apps, like nothing was working right. And it wasn't just the battery, it was just the software the hardware was getting too old to keep up with the software, which is very, very normal. And of course, in electronics, you do have planned obsolescence, but it's also, I like tech. It's kind of a geeky thing I'm into. Next, I'm going in and taking the shade Scorched on a flat brush and just popping this in the middle. Scorched is very glittery, so be careful. In the middle of our family visit, like, it was fine. I was making it work. I was having to, plug my phone in like 6 times a day. Couldn't use Snapchat, couldn't use Instagram stories, couldn't do pretty much anything with it other than like check Twitter. That's pretty much all my phone was good for, was checking Twitter and text messages. It was actually even dropping calls all the time. So one day it was like a Wednesday or something. It just it was a Wednesday. It was a Sunday. Sunday morning, I unplugged it to battery at like 90 whatever percent or whatever it was showing. Unplugged it and set it on the counter, came back to it, and it was dead and would not wake up. No matter how long I plugged it in for, I left it in for like 6 hours, it would not turn on. So I had to go and get a new phone. I could have gone to the Genius Bar and had them put in a new battery, but I just went and bought a new phone and sucked it up and spent the money, which I hate doing, but I went and got a new phone. I got an iPhone 8. I did not want an X because I've heard that most people who get X's end up returning them because they end up not liking them. And I didn't want a Plus because my hands are really, really small. And even with a pop socket, I don't think the Plus would be comfortable for me. And honestly, the specs on the cameras aren't that different. So the focus thing, the portrait mode in the camera wasn't a big deal to me because if I want blurred background, I can always use one of my regular cameras. So I got that. The only thing that sucks is a lot of stuff that I was tracking on my old phone, a lot of notes, things like that. Like all my photos auto backup, which is great. I have them set to auto backup to Lightroom. So that was fine, but like my videos on there and things like that. So I actually need to take my old phone in, and I want to see if the Genius Bar will like pop a battery in my phone long enough for me to just back it up, and then they can take it out and the old phone can go to wherever it lands, probably in my Apple product graveyard. I tend to keep my older Apple products just because I like being able to look back and go, oh yeah, this was this phone like 3 generations ago or whatever. So I'm taking a little flat detailer brush and I'm going in with Sauced again. And I'm just going to run that under my lash line on the outer half of my eye. Oh my gosh, it is getting so hot in here. I have my my air off and like no windows open, so it's quiet, and I'm like, eh. All right, and now I'm going in with Ounce using that same brush. And Ounce is just kind of the highlight shade, and I'm going to pop that on my inner corner. I really do like Ounce for a highlight because it's more subtle if you don't want a super glittery highlight. I'm going to take that on the inner half of my lower lash line as well. I find that doing this helps to open up my eyes and make them just a bit brighter and healthier looking, especially during allergy season. And under my brow bone. There we go. That is good enough for today. I swear, I think I did a look similar to this, like my last Get Right With Me. You know, I probably did. So we're all just going to ignore that. Today I am going to go ahead and use some eyeliner, and I'm using this. This is new. This is the Smashbox Always On 24-Hour Liquid Eyeliner in black. This is a felt tip, which you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of, but I really do like this formula, and I actually like this felt tip. This is probably my favorite felt tip I've used, and I'm just going to go ahead and see if my shaky hands can pull off a win today. Woohoo! All right. Now the fun part is going to be getting the other side to match. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. I'm going to call that good enough. They're not perfect, but they're workable. So if you guys follow me on Twitter or know me at all, you will know that I'm a huge, huge fan of BTS. And I was really looking forward to their premiere of Fake Love on the BBMAs last night. Mr. Cameraman, I have a bone to pick with you. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I know it's an award show and they want reactions and things like that, but the fact that that cameraman kept going to the audience every 5 seconds and you couldn't actually see the choreography, and they cut, like, it was like the whole thing was like 70% audience, 30% the guys actually performing. I'm sorry, but I don't watch shows to watch the fans' reactions. I watch them to actually watch the performance. And the fact that the cameraman didn't focus on the performance, especially with as amazing as you could tell the guys were doing, it just like, it drove me crazy. So I was ranting about it just a tiny bit on Twitter last night. So I'm actually really, really hoping that during their performance on Ellen, that however they edit it, that they actually show the guys' full performances and not just, you know, clip of the performance, then screaming fan reaction, then clip of the performance, and then screaming fan reaction. It's like, I am hoping that they don't do that to them on Ellen as well. The good news is, however, and I think I shared, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I shared this with you guys on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, the link is down below. go follow me on Twitter, okay? Because like everything going on in my life lands on Twitter. I managed to get tickets to the BTS concert in Chicago for their Love Yourself tour, and I screamed like a little girl and broke into tears. I will be completely honest with you guys. I like massively fangirling. So I am super, super happy for that. I was hoping to get like mid-tier tickets so that I wasn't way up in the balcony, but I didn't need to be like, for me, I don't want to be like general admission standing and have that many people pressed into me. Plus, I'm really short and I wouldn't be able to see. So I definitely wanted seats. But I figured like a mid-range seat would be perfect. Unfortunately, getting tickets for these concerts was like the Hunger Games. I actually tried for the one in Newark and did not get tickets at all because they sold out in seconds. But I did manage to get tickets for the Chicago show, which I am so excited for. Unfortunately, the only tickets I was able to get are balcony seats, so they are way up high, and I'm not a huge fan of like balcony heights for a concert, A, because it's difficult to see, and B, because I'm not a huge fan of heights with a bunch of other people around me, because I don't know how people are going to behave. So that had me a bit nervous. But honestly, I would much, much rather have tickets to the concert and be able to go and not have them be the best tickets rather than not be able to go at all. Also, Chicago is much closer to Ohio than Newark is, so it's a shorter drive. I actually got really lucky that where our seats are is actually almost directly across from the stage. I'm not like off to the side where it would be difficult to see the large screens. I'm actually like directly across. And when I double checked the seating chart and saw that, I flipped out because I was very, very happy. So that anytime I'm having a really rough day, all I can think is, in October, you get to go see BTS in concert, and it's just going to make everything better. All right, guys, my eyes are done. I didn't mention I use the Benefit Roller Lash because that's like my love of all mascaras lately. And to finish up for my lips, I am going to use the Buxom Plump Line Lip Liner that I also got in a recent Sephora Play box, and this is in the shade Hush Hush. But yeah, you guys probably, if you don't follow me on Twitter, don't know that like I'm massively fangirl. Like when I was 13, I got tickets to Backstreet Boys, and my mom managed to get us like farther back seats, and then my friend's dad managed to get them like 7th row seats. And him and my mom actually agreed to swap seats. So him and my mom sat in the back, and I got to sit with my best friend and her sister, like way up front at Backstreet Boys. And yes, I screamed when I saw the photo of BTS and Backstreet Boys together. Yeah, I'm 2. I'm basically a 2-year-old. Well, more like 14, but still. Oh, by the way, sorry, I'm constantly using this as a mirror. I used to have a setup where I had a large desk in front of me that was much, much taller, but I'm trying not having as many things in my office. So instead of having that large desk right in front of me, I actually have just a little like tiny table in front of me that I'm filming on, but it's much, much lower. So like my mirror is like all the way down here and it's farther away, so it's hard to see. I'm going to go ahead and set all of this with the Urban Decay all-nighter spray. Why are there 2 caps? Why are there, there's like a cap here and then a second cap. Okay, whatever. All right, let that set down a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on. It's just trying to get my schedule to a workable place again. I know I keep saying that, but because everything just keeps changing. I also ended up leaving the job I was at. Thankfully, my manager was very, very understanding, but I just explained to her that working 1 day a week was kind of pointless for me. It wasn't worth the money, and I wasn't making that much, and it really wasn't worth it. And she totally understood, and she was so sweet. And I worked out my 2 weeks, of course, but it was just too much to try and do multiple things at once. So I'm just kind of figuring out where I want my focus to be right now. So let me check out my skin now that this is set. Okay, that looks really, really good. I am very, very pleased with how my skin looks, with how my makeup looks. My eyeliner is a bit wonky, but you know what? It's good enough for today. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this kind of random get ready with me. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you want notifications, go ahead and click that little bell as well. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, because yes, I can occasionally do Snapchat again now, yay. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or just want to say hi, I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye.